let's get into this. I was going to say cultural appropriation, but it's really not. It's musical appropriation. But that's what they're, and it comes from. This is a story that my buddy Mitchell brought up, who has a music channel on YouTube. It's really great. I believe it's called the Beat Sessions. Let me just I'm gonna shout him out real quick and show you guys because it's great. Beat Sessions. Oh, where is it? Come on. So I'll explain it to you while I'm looking for him. So what he does is he just goes over different albums that are coming out, and he talks about different musicians and breaks them down and tells you about all the different things that are going down. Like, oh, here it is, the Beat Sessions. All right.
Welcome in.
All right, so let me bring this in so I could show you guys. So this is the Beat Sessions. Really good. I actually didn't know that there's these albums that have come out that I didn't even know about. Like for Weezer. Do you like Weezer?
I love Weezer.
Dude, Weezer came out with a new album.
When?
And I had like a month ago.
Wow.
And I had no idea. And I was like, oh, snaps. And he reviews all these new albums. And this guy is very knowledgeable about music. And he does a live show every Sunday. So he's one of my buddies, obviously inspired by me doing my show, and he's like, I'm gonna do a music show. Like, that is his knowledge point. So anyway, like, I learned about this, and then I was talking to him, and he was like, yeah, I was having this conversation about music appropriation, and he brought this to my attention. Check this out. This is Bruno Mars was coming under attack, and he defends himself against cultural appropriation accusations. All right, and I'll just read this to you. So he's responded that he appropriated black culture in his musical work. In an interview with The Breakfast Club on Friday, the Grammy Award-winning artist said, "You can't find an interview where I haven't talked about the entertainers who have come before me. The only reason I'm here is because of James Brown, Prince, Michael Jackson, obviously. This music comes from love, and if you can't hear that, I don't know what to tell you," he added. I don't even feel like I need to read the rest of this. You can imagine what SJWs are attacking him. You're not, a black entertainer, so you can't you can't even be inspired by great musicians. Like, hold up. Like, how is that not racist to me? Like, crazy. That's racism. They're great. I'm inspired by them. I'm inspired to write music because of them, because of their amazing human beings, period. Conversation over.
Like, for instance, James Brown. He didn't make that music because he was black.
Right.
He made that music because he was awesome.
Yes.
He happened to have a color or whatever, a skin, a different genetic makeup, but he's amazing. He's one of my biggest inspirations.
Period.
He is literally my second top 2 inspirations in life. If you can dance like James Brown, then you've done it. If you can dance like Michael Jackson, you've done it. Like, those are the guys to emulate.
Yep, I agree. They're amazing. And you said it. It's not because of their color. It's because they're amazing, because they are a true musician that learned how to, channel energy into your ears, into your eyes, watching them dance, watching them entertain, watching them be this presence on a stage that made you stop and go, I have to watch and listen to this person, because that's magic. And that's what good music is. So if someone like Bruno Mars is inspired by that and creates incredible music like he has, he's an award-winning artist that people love his music, and it's because he was inspired by incredible artists of the past. We got to let this go. This whole appropriating culture, it's like, we're all human beings. America especially. We were called the melting pot for the longest time. What happened to that?
I don't know. It's very strange. Globalization maybe as a part of it. They've said that there's like Chinese disinformation campaigns trying to sow dissent amongst the United States as part of like the fourth turning and like
but globalism,
this weird culture war thing.
Yeah, but think about what globalism is. Isn't that trying to bring everyone together?
I guess there's different ways of globalizing. Yeah, you could do it under like a slavery system. You could do it under a freedom system, decentralized or centralized.
Well, then it clearly seems to me that they're not trying to do like a freedom system.
It seems coordinated. Like this weird media hate against racists seems like it's coming from something.
Well, they're making it racist. They're saying, well, that's racist. And it's like, what? No.
I would never want to only inspire people that look like me. That's crazy. Like,
Right.
I want all people from all walks of life to see my work and be like, I want that to do that kind of thing. So
I mean, I actually can just clap at you.
Yes.
Because you're in here. But yeah, he's right. Why would you, see, that in itself is racist, that they think that that's what you should be doing. Well, you're only white, so you can only speak to white people. And it's like, what? No, that's really weird to hear that. And the craziest thing is, I've heard that so many times in the past year. How many times did I speak up for my friends that happen to be minorities? And I say, man, I would be offended if Oxford told me I didn't have to work as hard because of my skin color. Like, that would offend me. And they're like, whoa, you're white, you need to shut your mouth. And I'm like, excuse me? Like, what? I can't have an opinion because of my skin color? That's racist. I'm sorry. No, racism. Now, obviously, we're getting a little off track but it goes hand in hand with this.
Oh, it's crazy. Bruno Mars is amazing.
Yeah, he's an incredible musician.
Amazing.
I mean, he's a dancer. He can sing. Like, he's the type of person that you stop and go, wow, look at this guy. This guy is good.
Like, Michael's maybe gone, but Bruno continues on. That dude is amazing. He's going to teach kids how to dance and how to sing.
And not only is he amazing, he pays homage. And he even says here, he's like, there's not an interview that I haven't talked about entertainers who have come before me. He does it every time. He pays homage. He recognizes the greats that came before him. And that's what we need to do. We don't, that's one of the issues of society. We don't realize how that we're not only standing on the shoulders of giants, we're standing on the shoulders of giants who are standing on the shoulders of giants that are standing on the shoulders of giants, and it continues for a long time. I don't have the time to even, that would be the show of just talking about how many generations of shoulders we're standing on right now.
And those giants are standing on treetops.
Yeah.
Like, we wouldn't exist without the trees. You really want to give homage to life on Earth. I mean,
and the sun. If you
praise nature.
Bring it back. Praise the sun, baby.
We're going a little too far.
That's all right. We're hippies. We're allowed. They know us. Come on.
Yes.
All right, I'm gonna read a little bit more about this. So Mars, who was born to a Filipino mother and a half Puerto Rican, half Ashkenazi Jewish father, went on to explain that musicians learn from artists who come before them, and likens using the artists as inspiration to athletes using NBA legend Michael Jordan as a blueprint for their athletic careers. In the past, celebrities have voiced their support for Mars and his music, but these accusations of cultural appropriation have followed Mars for years. In 2018, writer and activist Serene Sensei said in a video clip that Mars plays up his racial ambiguity to cross genres. All right. I just want to comment on that one. That right there plays up his racial ambiguity on to cross genres. That is such bullshit. I'm sorry, I had to say that because you listen to his music, he really doesn't have a genre.
Yeah.
He doesn't fit, like, that's what bugs me about my music. Like, I don't fit a genre. I don't like to hold myself to any type of genre. Like, I have some poppy sounding songs. I have some really sad, slow moving songs. I have some rock, some blues. Like, music is something that you feel, not something that needs to be forced. Bruno Mars has some incredible people that he's been inspired by, and the music shows for itself. Like, it comes, and it's all of his songs are really well made and good. And
his bassist is amazing.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
I don't know much about his.
So
I mean, I know some of his songs
just
but,
from his work that I've heard, and he's the kind of guy where I'll hear a song on the radio and I'll be like, "That's Bruno Mars." Like, he breaks genres. He doesn't he doesn't sound the same, and I think it's intentional. He's like a mimic.
Those are the best musicians.
I agree,
because they're a lot. The more they branch out, the more the music changes and
the
grows.
Beach Boys were like that in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I mean there
wasn't much.
They had an
hard
overall
rock back then, but
that's
were
true.
Really kind of the Beatles, of course.
Yeah,
just they created genres of music.
True.
They basically created rock and roll as we know it today.
Well, the Beatles are it's a good example though, because they are all over the place, man, and they had different people of the band write different songs. Like, look at Ringo's style of music. It's like, the Walrus. I'm the Walrus.
Like circus music.
Just really weird, but it was cool and it worked
Yellow
because they were
Submarine, I think.
good musicians.
Yeah.
So a good musician like Bruno Mars playing whatever style, I don't care what style he wants to play, it's going to be good music.
You mentioned Jordan earlier.
Yeah.
As kids, we used to play a lot of basketball, and kids would very frequently be like, I'm Jordan, and they go up and put their like tongue out their mouth like he used to do.
Yep.
And be Jordan. All
Yeah.
kids. I grew up in what they called Caucasian Falls. You know, it was like ridiculously racially segregated, or like, you know, non-homogenous. It was a bunch of white people. I don't even like saying white because I'm not white. I get made fun of a lot for this. I'm pink. The skin is like a yellowish pinkish color. It's not. This is white. This is my skin color. It's not white.
Okay.
It's a cheap, lazy phrase. But
okay.
It wasn't because of what he looked like. It was because he was the best. People wanted to emulate the best.
Yes, exactly. That's a great point. Michael Jordan was the best. He wasn't the best because of his skin color. He was the best because he worked hard every day to be the best. And he said, I'm going to be the best. I'm going to work with the best. If you're going to work with me, you're going to be the best. And he inspired the rest of his team to be the best. I grew up in Chicago. I watched him. I sat around my family members getting hyped on him winning. I'm like watching that. I was around that energy growing up. So I not once did I think, wow, he's great for a minority. I'm like, not once. You said it. All I could think of, he's the best. That no one's better than him. Yeah. He's incredible. Like, wow. Race never entered the picture at all.
Yeah, not from my perspective. He probably went through stuff that
I'm
had
sure
to do
he did.
with
and
that.
he's talked about it.
Yeah. Oh, interesting. Yeah.
Have you seen The Last Dance on Netflix?
Seen it, no.
Very, very good documentary about his rise to fame, the all the way from him, you know, coming out of high school into college, into the NBA, his whole path, all the way up to the last season that he was on the Bulls, which was, I think, the 98 season.
Oh, that's awesome. Like he narrates the documentary?
He doesn't, each episode focuses about a different player, Scottie Pippen, Rodman,
Horace Grant. He gets his own episode.
I don't know if they get their own episode, but it's throughout the entire time they were being interviewed and all this stuff. So it's really a great thing to go watch.
What a team, man! The '80s Bulls, late '80s Bulls, early '90s.
Oh my gosh! Shout out to all my Bulls fans.
You got to hand it to Phil Jackson and Michael Jordan for that,
dude.
Like,
they were
guys
amazing.
Pushed those guys.
If you like them, you're gonna love that.
I was hard because I was from Cleveland, so I hated them. But I love you couldn't not love them because they were so good. It was laugh it up. Cleveland Cavs all the way. They used to be good. They were good when LeBron came back.
Yeah, and then he left.
That was yes.
He won and then left.
He did.
How did that feel?
Thanks, I cried when he won. I knew he could. You know, one night I took a bunch of mushrooms one night and was watching the Cleveland Cavaliers playoffs game. And
cool.
They were down 3-1.
Okay.
And I was focusing on it and thinking like I was there, like I was using my collective consciousness to empower these guys because it was happening live. And I started crying. Like I really felt like I yelled out at LeBron when I wake up. I made a YouTube video and yelled wake up, and it vibrated the room in a weird way when I said it's on video on YouTube right now. Actually, it's really weird. The way when I said wake up, this weird sound.
Cool.
And then they won 3 in a row. They came back and I don't know if it's the first time in NBA playoff history that you came back down 3-1 and won a championship for the first time in Cavs history.
So you heard it here. They won because of Ian Crossland's mind.
Or
no,
my mind.
No,
because they
that's
won.
it. That's it. They only won because of Ian's consciousness.
You're setting me up for a fall here, Adam.
No, dude.
They say time works backwards.
I'm on your side, Doug.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Okay, maybe I'm playing into
what
it
I
a
found
little
is
bit.
if you ever go to live sports, as a fan, you really are impacting the game.
Absolutely.
If you yell when the ball gets hit, the players hear you yell and it shocks their system and they react differently.
True.
You may be far away, but your mind the vibration is still there.
True, yeah.
It's just a lower frequency.
Yeah, it's interesting too because watching sports now, I mean, I don't really watch sports, but I follow the Cubs. Cubs are one of my teams that I've been following for many years. I don't really follow the Bulls, but I do. I see them I every so often. But watching the basketball games now with no fans in it is so weird.
I haven't done it yet.
It's odd, man. There's cardboard cutouts of faces, but the energy's gone. There's it's not the same. You don't get that excitement, that thrill. You know, it's like, sure, the players are having a game, but there's something boring about it. It's dull now.
They call it, what do they call it? The 13th man in football, the home field.
Oh,
the fans.
Yeah, that's a good. It's true.
I noticed particularly. I was at a friend's baseball game like 6 years ago, and I was one of the only fans in the stand. And when the ball would get hit, and I'd be like, "Yeah!" I'd scream, and I'd see the players like shock. And I was like, "Whoa, I'm really affecting the game."
Good.
So that I can see that is like taking a player off the field almost.
True. Yeah. It's really different, man. I don't know. It's like, when are we going to get that back? Are we going to get that back?
I would imagine now that Biden's president.
the layers in that comment. there's a lot to dissect.
Yes.
I don't even think I think my chat and the people watching are astute enough
I hope
to know
you guys are
to know
astute enough.
everything that meant.
Breathe through the sarcasm.
We don't need to even.
I love all people. But I have faith.
Spicy.
I have faith we'll come back. If we want it as humans, I think we'll make it happen.
I think so. I think we're getting there, you know. I think we're getting there. All right, let's I mean, that's basically it. I mean, we talked about the music and how silly it is. You know, like it's appreciation. You know,
Yeah.
and actually Tom McDonald in one of his songs, I think it's Politically Incorrect. He says, it's like, you know, you make fun of my braids like I'm appropriating culture, but I'm not hearing any of that. I'm paying homage. Like, I think they look cool.
Yeah.
I'm paying homage to, and that's what Bruno Mars was doing. He's paying homage to, and he says, like, you won't ever catch me saying, like, I did this on my own. That's not what he's doing. He's saying, I went to the greats, not because of their skin color, because they were the greats. Stop debasing the greats to just their skin color. Media, people out there that are doing that, that's disrespectful to them. Because they're great because they are great human beings, period. I mean, it's offensive to all humans should be offended, you know, because they are being downgraded. You aren't a great human being because you deserved and what the hard work that you did to become the person that you became. No, you only did that and you only should be known because of your skin color. No, I'm not hearing that. They were great because they earned it, because they worked for it, because we now remember them, and we will remember them, and their names will live on because they were the greats.
Michael Jackson used to practice like 15-hour days. I mean, he'd be in his studio for 10 hours at a time practicing dance moves.
And it shows.
Yes, that is why he was great.
It showed. You know?
Still shows on video.
You're right.
I mean,
You're right.
You can still watch his work from the past.
Yeah, true.
It requires 10 plus hours a day. If you want to become the best, you need to be better. You need to practice more than everyone else.
Exactly.
Maybe not every time. Maybe there are some people that need to. There are, but
there's exceptions to the rule.
But if you really want to be the best human on earth, I mean, you gotta be different than every other human.
Yep. And you gotta work your butt off. All right.
Woo. Hey, as a quick aside, who are your top 2 or 3 musical gurus?
Let's see. Good question. Bradley Knowles from Sublime.
Oh my God. There's
There's something about his energy of, I don't care about getting it perfect. I don't care about. He just had this. He felt the music and let the music just take him, and I love that about him. I loved his live show. I never got to see him live. But I have a lot of his recordings live. So Sublime was very heavy influential to me. Pearl Jam, Eddie Vedder, his emotions in his voice when he sings, you could feel them. It's like you're getting just lathered in emotions when you're listening to, like, you know, him really like send it out. And Incubus.
Oh yeah.
I was really influenced by Incubus growing up.
Brandon Boyd,
man.
particularly Boyd in the group.
Boyd, man. Well, I mean, the band in general was really good, but as a singer, like the reason I started playing guitar was just so I can continue singing. I love to sing. So Brandon Boyd was definitely a huge influence. And then the last one I'd say is Jose Gonzalez.
I don't know his work very well. Who's that?
He did Heartbeats. It was on a commercial with all these bouncy balls in San Francisco, and it kind of like took off. I mean, it was a cover of The Knife.
Oh God, I love that song.
The Heartbeats
so
from The
good.
Knife.
Yes.
Okay, so you know that song.
Yes.
So Jose Gonzalez did a cover of that, and it kind of like people were like, "Oh, look at this guy." And then if you actually listen to his song, he sounds like a full band, and it's just him playing classical guitar, singing, and it's it's so beautiful and melodic. And I went out and bought a classical guitar. I learned how to fingerpick, and I have all these songs that spiraled from that influence. So what about you?
Well, Eddie Vedder for sure.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder.
Just rocked my world as a 12-year-old. Like, oh my
dude,
God,
he's incredible.
I can be that. Like, what? This is a kid with not a lot of self-confidence, and that I can be that. Like, wow.
Yeah.
That whole grunge rock scene really kind of tweaked me. Chris Cornell, a lot of his vocals. Whew.
Yeah.
Honestly, James Brown's dancing. I mean, James Brown, the way he, like
I totally see that in you.
That's why I do it. I'm mimicking
God.
James Brown. Like I'm doing like how does James Brown? You know, Freddie Mercury.
Dang, I never even thought about that.
Come on,
yeah, it's totally you.
James
Yeah,
Brown.
I see it. Well, yeah, I see
what
that
an
influence.
inspiration. He's amazing.
Yeah, Freddie Mercury though. Wow. Yeah, you're right.
I'm a big fan of Johnny Cash's like chill, low key vibe.
Cool.
And John Lennon, his writing skills, his ability to speak. I mean, this goes beyond music, but his ability to speak out against society when society was just a lot of it was trying to break him down and stop him from like stopping the military industrial complex. He was so vocal about politics as well, but
he had power.
His creative writing skill was insanely.
Yeah.
It was one of the best I've ever seen. He's just of course, he and Paul together were like, probably he wouldn't have been much on his own, I bet. And really, honestly,
Lennon wouldn't be?
Yeah, Lennon or McCartney. They were great, and they are both great. Paul's amazing, but
together.
Like what they're one-upping each other in song. Like they kept singing over each other and making different melodies and different storylines together, and like
it just made it better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.